So you have already done conversational past, things like ich habe gegessen, ich habe geschlafen, ich bin nach Alaska geflogen. Today we're going to do the preterite of regular or weak verbs, and this is another past tense. This is what we would call in English the simple past, and instead of saying I have eaten, I have flown, I have done, now we're just going to say I did, I ate, I drank, I slept. So one word, and that's why it's called a simple past, because we just have one word and that's simpler. Now, the thing is, in German, Germans don't really speak with this tense a lot, but they write with it. And if you read a novel, this is the one it's going to be written in. They will speak mostly with conversational past. Now, the preterite or simple past in English adds an ed to the end of the verb, such as played, stopped. We have that ed at the end. Well, we know that in German, d often is a t in German, and that comes from the second High German consonant shift many years ago. But this rule is actually going to help us in German to do the simple past, because that ed that we add to regular verbs in English is a t in German. So what we're going to actually do to conjugate regular German verbs for the preterite is take off the ending, kind of like we do when we conjugate them in present tense. That part has not changed. And I'm going to write down my stem next to all of our subjects here. And normally, if I were conjugating machen for ich, if it were present tense, it would look like this, mache. Well, what happens in the past tense is I'm going to add this, it's sort of like our ed in English, but it's a t. I'm going to add that right before the ending and get machte. So this t is what makes it past tense. Ich machte, I did. Same thing for du. Normally we would have an st at the end, du machst. Well, I'm going to put a t right there, and so that I can actually pronounce it, I'll put an extra e between the t and the st. Du machtest. Sie es, normally I would put a t there, but if you think back to when we did modal verbs, do you remember that ich und sie es loved each other? They always had to be the same. And that's actually what's going to happen in preterite. This will be the exact same as ich. These two have to stay together because they love each other. Wir, it'll be the same thing as normal. We're going to have that en at the end, but I'm going to put a t right there in front of it to signify that it's past tense. Ihr, normally we would have a t at the end, which is great. We're still going to have a t, but I've got to put my t for past tense. So I get machtet. Sie und big Sie, remember that's also the same as wir. Those will always be the same. Machten. I have that T there. So this T is like our English ED. It signifies past tense. Now I'm going to do one more just to kind of give you the pattern. Ich, instead of frage, fragte. Du, fragtest. Sie es, and remember these two have to be the same because they love each other. They love each other. Sie es, fragte, wir fragten, ihr fragtet und sie und big Sie fragten. Now, one thing that you may need to watch out for is we're going to have irregular verbs as well, just like we do in English. And you may have a question as to how do I know the difference between them? They will follow the same pattern as they did with conversational past. If they were irregular in conversational past, they will be irregular here. That's all for now. Tschüss.